All right, I'm calling to order this meeting of the Fredonia Planning Commission, Monday, July 7th at 7 o'clock in the evening. First order of business, the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. All right, the roll call. Timothy Barta. Blake Bovid.
Here.
Jessica Frank.
Here.
Ann Redmond. Sorry. Jerry Ann Wyland. Jake Winker.
Here.
And myself, Commit Chairman Lenz. All right, public comment. Note that public comments are limited to 5 minutes per person. No public comment. Consent agenda is the next item, approving the minutes of the June 2nd, 2025 Planning Commission meeting. Has everybody had a chance to take a look at those? Any concerns? Do we have,
I'll make a motion to approve the consent agenda.
do we have a second?
Consent agenda.
All right, we have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? All those in favor of approving the consent agenda? Aye. All opposed? All abstaining? All right. Items for action and or discussion. The first item on the agenda for action or discussion and possible recommendation to the Village Board of Trustees on sign permit application. This is for St. John's Lutheran Church. Do we have anybody here to talk about that? Mr. Paulus? All right, would you like to tell us a little bit about it?
Tell you what we're speaking to the microphone.
If you like, yeah.
I can tell you what I pretty much presented.
Okay,
Nothing's been purchased yet. We have, right now, presently, we have a sign that's in line with traffic, and it's just only need to put the letters in,
okay,
and it basically doesn't get noticed. So we'd like to make it perpendicular to the road. And in the same location the sign is, and the modern LED.
it's gonna be an LED sign, right? It was a 6'6" by 3'4" in dimensions,
Correct.
right?
That's what the lighted
The lighted part, and then there'll be the stands, the posts
20-inch pillar with limestone.
on each
That's the
side.
picture on the sides, kind of, and for the support.
Okay.
Other than, that's about.
All right, well, thank you. I believe the village administrator says this falls within line with the
Yeah.
ordinances
It
for the
does.
village. If it's placed in this type of district, it'd still be in compliance with our ordinances. Administration's reviewed it. There's no concern. And so they advise that we recommend approval to the village board. Is there any,
Just gonna be two pillars with the electronic one in the middle,
I didn't understand, wasn't just.
two pillars,
Yes,
and then the electronic in the center and just matching the church
correct.
facade. Okay.
and it's gonna be visible as you drive along the road. Right,
You'll see it from.
perpendicular to the, right.
East and west.
Mhm.
East and west.
Right.
We need that.
Any questions? Further discussion? Do I have a motion?
I make a motion to recommend the village board the approval of the sign permit for St. John's Lutheran Church.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Have a motion and a second. Do we have any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? All abstaining? The motion passes. We will recommend to the village board that they permit this. The next item, discussion and possible recommendation to the village. Thank you. Discussion possible recommendation to the Village Board of Trustees on sign permit application for the Village of Fredonia Marshall Signs. This will be a splash zone recognition sign that we have. Under ordinances, the village has no obligation to police ourselves when it comes to our own signage. However, having it stamped by the planning commission seems appropriate. The sign will stand to recognize the significant contributions given to create the recreational feature at Marie Krause Park and appropriately recognizes donors as such. The sign was designed and will be created and installed by Marshall Signs. It stands roughly 10 feet tall and is held up by two large 6-inch posts. The colors match the colors of the splash pad features along with the branding of the village. The height is comparable to the height of some of the splash pad features themselves. Administration suggests or recommends approving the sign to the Board of Trustees. Have you had a chance to take a look at the sign in the packet? Any questions, comments? It is rather tall, but not taller than the place that it's marking out.
And we want to bring attention to it anyways.
We do, here.
I'll make a motion to recommend to the Village Board of Trustees on sign permit application of Village Fredonia for the splash pad.
Second motion.
Do we have any further discussion? Commentary? All right, I'll put the question. All those in favor? Aye. All those opposed? All right, it passes unanimously. The third item, discussion and possible action on fence permit application from Bruce and Deborah Pappy for the address 508 Fredonia Avenue. Bruce, you're here today. Do you want to talk about it at all?
I originally had pulled a permit for the fence with the art board and, you know, it was different people, but this was a few years ago. Anyways, a lot of stuff has happened since then. About the land and things like that. We got it all squared away. You have the brick that the pillars will be made out of.
Cream City
And
brick.
it's the same brick from the building that I own. It's built in 1897, and I have to try to match that, and I've got to go to Green Bay to get it, but the pillars will be built on down with the frost footing so that it can support the brick. But it'll be built within the understanding that we're gonna leave a buffer zone in between the
Yeah.
parking
Is
lot
that-
and yeah,
Right there?
yeah.
Okay. Everybody.
Um,
Oh, okay.
And then I also had pictures, a signed agreement between, Jen's place and our place and the depth or the height of the total height, which is important because commercially you can go 10 and 12 feet, or up to 12 feet, but I didn't want to go 6 feet. I have to go at least 9 feet to make 8-foot vertical boards and it won't look like it's a dwarf fence against my building coming from the north. But it'll all tie in and it'll be iron and I will have a dumpster pad out there. So my dumpster door will slide with harbors. We'll have the count for that and then just an entry door, but there will no longer be parking for me on the side of the building anymore. I'll park in the garage, but yeah, other than that, I just anxious to have Yankee Strand is gonna be out there like Thursday for the survey with the agreement between the village board and Jed.
Okay, so just bricks like that and then boards.
Well,
Yeah.
I was gonna have
Well,
iron,
yeah.
2x2 iron,
Surround.
support,
Yeah.
and then I gave you a sample.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah, right there.
okay.
What it would look like.
Okay.
So, yeah, it's not gonna be, like a dog eared fence or anything like that. It's gonna be a little bit better. And then I'm going to.
A little
also
nicer
work-
fence than the north property.
Excuse me?
The property of the other one, the chain link fence. So it's not gonna look like that.
No, no.
Yeah, no.
No,
Just-
no, I don't. Yeah. Other than that, I'm glad that, the lot lines are getting straightened out, Don. I know you had issues with that many years ago. But it is a problem and it's gonna be fixed along Fillmore Street regarding the new construction of the road with sidewalks, liabilities for sidewalks, everything like this. And, but, right?
So as long as they registered as citizen. And secretary, the age of the three properties will turn up. What you guys agreed that it would be from there on.
Right, and actually, Christoph and I, we get, yeah, we have issues once in a while, but if it wasn't for me getting that permit and having it lapse, and then him catching that property line, it could cause problems for years down the road,
Right.
not only with my children when they want to sell their property, but I own 6 feet into Jen's place. Jen,
Owned into
the
yours.
village owned the driveway, it was so ridiculous.
It was a mess.
But I'm just
It was a
glad
mess.
it's all worked out, honestly. Honestly.
Well, we need to get back to our focus on
Yeah.
the fence. So I mean, I understand, I appreciate what you're saying and so forth,
Well,
but,
there's a story behind it.
right, absolutely.
We, been wrong.
So the issue that we have with this fence, and I'm not saying we have, I'm just saying the issue that comes up with the fence is that according to our ordinances, allowable fences, split rail, dog ear, shadow box, wrought iron picket, chain link, et cetera. This particular type of fence is not allowable per ordinance. Now that can be waived by this committee, and that is, but it's the commercial property, right?
Residential.
Well, this is the commercial ordinance. Security fences are permitted on the property line, shall not exceed 10 feet. You're okay there. But allowable fences, this according to this is what it's stating. Would not be an open type similar to woven wire, would not be made out of an allowable material due to the use of the Cream City brick. What I'm saying is to the board here, to the committee. The reason we're here tonight is to talk about whether or not we feel it would be appropriate to waive these ordinances, to allow
That-
this fence to be built anyway.
Is 10 to 12 feet.
Yeah, it's.
We're talking about the material,
Talking about the material.
the materials, and
And
that's,
in my personal opinion,
Green City.
the Cream City, it's,
Traded lumber and brought out here, not fall within a chain link fence.
yeah, in my personal opinion, it's going to look nice with his building.
it'll match
It
the
match.
design, it'll match the building, it'll look good.
Dude, I'm not gonna put up some crap.
Yes.
We're not arguing that.
Not arguing.
We're putting out why we're talking about this. And part of the discussion is, does this commission feel that it's appropriate to recommend to the Board of Trustees that we allow this fence because it does fit within the appearance of the neighborhood, despite the fact that it doesn't exactly hit the ordinances where it needs to.
Yes.
All right, and that's what we're here to talk about. So are there any questions or comments or concerns with respect to that?
No, I think it's going to look nice. You're making it fit the building, fit the area, and it's going to look very nice and
And it's a
professional.
courtyard, actually, we're gonna use it for the adult day center that my wife
Yeah.
owns, so.
Mhm.
And the residents will be able to sit out there, in grass, and have an outside area,
Well, that's nice.
and it'll be beautiful. Okay.
Well, I'm gonna make a recommendation that it, goes towards, what is it, discussion of possible action, so I'm gonna recommend that it goes to the, village board for
For approval?
approval.
All right. So you're making a motion?
Yes, I am.
Second that.
All right. Any further discussion, questions, debate?
Is that what, or are we putting this to the village board for approval? Is that what this
I was.
action is, or are we
Yeah.
just approving?
Or we just approve it.
Ability to grant approval to
Yeah,
the building inspector.
I thought.
To proceed with the,
It just says possible action.
Yeah, I was.
Yeah.
We have the ability to grant approval.
Oh.
Right, immediately.
So we are-
Just going to approve it?
You know,
Then I'll make a
Okay,
motion
make
to
a mo-
approve it.
We recommend it with change,
What changes?
recommend to go for with the change.
To proceed with the exceptions basically to
Yeah.
the ordinance.
No, the building inspector cannot approve the permit application without plan commission approval and is being referred to the plan commission. So we have to approve it and go back to the building inspector, and then they can approve the permit.
Oh, you guys.
So we approve the
This
fence.
is what,
Yes.
got 'em, but once.
yeah, so it looks like we can make a motion to approve the fence permit as discussed, as shown. And then it's gonna go back to the building inspector for approval, with our approval.
With our approval, the building inspector can then issue the permit.
Did you guys get a picture, and all that, well, yes.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, very big.
Yeah.
it's-
Except with that color brick,
Yeah.
which will match the building.
I'm taking it with me.
What, Rick? All right, so we have a motion.
So, you have a signed letter from my neighbor about the lot.
Yeah, yeah, we have that, yes. So we have a motion to approve the fence, to approve the fence so that the building inspector can issue the permit.
Yes.
We have a second, you seconded. All right. Any other discussion? All right, I'll put it to the question. All those in favor? Aye. All those opposed? Any abstaining? All right, we will approve this to the,
Thank you very much.
So yeah, it looks like.
Thank you for what you do, I'm telling you, it's a pain in the ass. It's a pain.
we'll bleep it.
Taking up your time. And being a representative for your constituents. This guy did it for 30 years.
Yeah, so, yeah.
Yeah, and it's not a pat on your back job. But I appreciate it. I just want to let
Yeah,
you know that.
it looked-
Okay?
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Take care, man.
All right,
Now we see-
bye Bruce.
See you guys.
That would be the last of the items there. There's no notes on correspondence. Do we have any items for future consideration? Do we have a motion to adjourn?
I make a motion to adjourn.
Do I have a,
Second the motion to adjourn.
all right, all those in favor? Aye. Opposed? All right, we can get out of here.
Did he say they're redoing Fillmore Street? And putting in sidewalks?